Now, let's see, we're 1, 2, 3. Third presentation is Team Philips. They come from ISDI Mumbai in India and Pontificia Universidad Javeriana, Cali in Colombia. Welcome on stage.
Hi guys, my name is Avni and I come from ISDI Mumbai, and that's my friend Sebastian. He's from Javeriana, Colombia, and we are Team Philips Healthcare. This is our design team, 4 of us from ISDI Mumbai and 4 of our friends from Colombia. So let's start by giving a little context to our project. In developing countries like India and Colombia, there's only 1 doctor per 1,000 patients. Right now in this room, we are not even 1,000 people. So if we were in India or Colombia, there won't be a doctor to treat us. Medical care is significantly unevenly distributed in the developing countries. If you have private health care, if you have money, you can access to private care very easily. But public hospitals, like you can see, remain crowded. There are long queues at each counter, which makes it difficult to access to the services when there's an emergency. Only 1 out of 5 people have private health insurances, which means people who have no insurance actually end up being in debt. Keeping in mind our context of having an accessible healthcare system which satisfies patient needs, our sponsor Philips challenged us to design a solution that helps patients take care of their care at home post their surgery. Now, Philips has a long history in medical innovation in terms of their services, equipments, and platforms. So, keeping their groundbreaking strategies in mind that we benchmark, we kept 3 things in our mind when we were on a journey to this project. 1, to have a specific solution. Whatever solution we come up with had to be addressed to a well-specified area. 2, it should be extendable as a platform. Once the area that we find in our project is defined, it should have a scope to be extendable as a platform as huge as possible. 3, immediate adoption. We were trying to focus on ease of adoption. Once proof of concept was established, it should have the scope to expand into other larger areas, which were also in line with current healthcare technologies.
Okay, can you hear me? In our empathizing process, we discovered that the injuries related to the lower part of the body has a really strong impact in the people's daily life, because their mobility is basically restricted and they have to change many things they usually do in their normal life. So we discovered that one of the most common injuries that the people suffer in the lower part of the body is the ACL injury. Many patients who we interviewed had an ACL tear, or at least knew someone who did suffer it. For this reason, we decided with our sponsor Philips to focus our project on help the patients of post-surgery of this kind of injury. An ACL injury is a problem that affects the people most of the times while they are practicing recreational activities or they are doing sports like basketball, soccer, football, or even dancing. An ACL injury is a tear or a sprain in the anterior cruciate ligament. There is one of the most important ligaments in your knee that basically brings you the stability and helps you to walk well. So, a recovery time of a surgery after get an ACL injury should take 6 months. But this only happens if you exercise daily. But it's not happening because most of the public insurances in our countries, in the most cases, just allow limited numbers of days to exercise in the recovery physiotherapy centers. So the total time of recovery should increase to 3 times more, which means 18 months. So we interviewed many patients who had suffered an ACL injury, and we discovered 3 important aspects. First one is the patients wants to recover as fast as possible, and they want to enjoy their recovery process to be truly engaged. Second one, we discovered that they want to be in touch, in contact with their doctor and the physiotherapist, because they want to feel that they are not alone in this journey, the journey of recovery process. Finally, we discovered that one of the most important aspects for a technological solution that wants to help the patients to recover is the user-friendliness and the simplicity, besides the adaptability of the current stage of the patients. So, keeping in mind these aspects, we designed our solutions, and we're happy to introduce you EXPO.
Women suffer an ACL injury every year. Post-ACL surgery, football and dancing are on your mind, but rehab is a 6-month process ridden with delays, anxiety, uncertainty, and increasing costs. You end up missing sessions. By the 3rd week, your final recovery date is now officially delayed. But now there's a solution. Introducing EXPO for enhancing your recovery. Just put on the device while exercising and connect it to the app. EXPO's real-time feedback tells you if you're doing it correctly. Its alerts keep you motivated, and your physiotherapist can update your exercises remotely. EXPO delivers on-time and complete recovery, removes barriers of distance and cost, and your physiotherapist gets the satisfaction of providing the care she has always aspired to. All this so you are back to playing football or dancing when you had planned to. We believe that EXPO can grow into a platform for all your physical rehab, ensuring nothing stands in the way between the best care and you. For more information, visit exor.netlify.com. EXPO, enhancing your recovery at home.
Well, as you can see, EXPO is a complete platform for help the patients to recover faster, because they can do exercise anywhere they are and every day. EXPO is composed by a smart device and an app that connects the patients and the physiotherapist to help them to do their recovery process. The app helps the patients to follow and monitor their progress and their objectives. Also, helps the patients to do their exercise anywhere they are and explain them how to do them. Also, helps the physiotherapist to set the appropriately exercise that the patients need according to their progress. The device is composed by a smart instant feedback that helps the patients to do the exercise well. It advises and notifies the patients when they are doing the things well or not, thanks to the LED systems and the vibrating system. Also, it records all the progress of the patients, because it's every time monitoring and measuring the range of motion of the joint. What are the patient's benefits? The patients receive customized workouts by their own physiotherapist. The patients can track their own progress, and even they can discuss their own concerns with their physiotherapist and with another patient. Also, the physiotherapist receives benefits from EXPO. They can keep a list of their own patients, which means that all the information of the patients could be centralized on the database. They can customize the recovery process of each patient according to each progress, and they can track the patient progress.
EXPO can help the patient recover without any anxiety, because the app has a platform which connects them to their physiotherapist and their doctor together. There's also an inbuilt community of patients on the app, so they can talk to the other patients who are on the same recovery journey. For any further question or to experience the EXPO recovery journey, please visit our booth. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'd like to invite the team on stage for the Q&A.
Okay, do we have questions for Team EXPO?
Hi, it looks like this device is designed for the arm or the leg. If someone has other physical therapy exercises, such as the bridge, how does this device track?
Okay, so right now EXPO is designed for the ACL injury, particularly for the knee, but it has the scope to expand into other areas if you have an injury on your arm. It basically helps you exercise with the right angle required for your physiotherapy. So it does have a scope to expand into injuries for your hands or for your ankle also.
Other questions? It's coming.
Hi, thank you very much for your presentation. It's quite interesting to have this sort of device. And the benefit is this is increased the access for the patient to access the therapist. But how about the therapist work? Because if more people can access to therapy, then the workload for the therapist will be increased. How does that happen is this device solve this problem?
We found that the patient needs to be in the medical center, so they need to go every week. They don't have to be disconnected from the physiotherapist. So they have to go each week at least one time or 2 times. But with EXPO, we can improve like the exercise they are doing at home. So it's because in our countries, it's not common that they use the exercise that the physiotherapist gave the guy. So, for example, for us, we are increasing the times that he is exercising, so it's less time in recovery. But they are keeping in touch with the cultural appointments.
Okay, in the front and then in the back.
Thank you very much. I have one question. You opened the presentation with a statement, the problem that many people in developing countries don't have access to proper medical care. A smart device like this doesn't look very cheap. How is this solution addressing the problems of the poor part of the population?
Yeah, so a prototype basically costs about $170 at a prototype stage. Mass production would get it down significantly. So that's from a cost perspective. To the way we envisage it as a go-to-market, it's like B to B to C in some sense. So it's not that the customer buys it, they essentially get it free. They have a subscription model for the app. So it's the medical center in between that gets the device from Philips, and they provide the device and they take it back, post-therapy. So this is like a multi-use device. It's not going to be like either use or throw, or you give it and you take it home. So that's how we're looking at it to sort of bring the cost down.
Is it working? Okay. Thank you very much. It was really interesting to hear about your presentation, your challenge. Could you elaborate maybe a little bit on your testing? Like, were you able to test it within, I don't know, in India or in Colombia?
Actually, we did test all our prototypes in both the countries to understand what the feedback is coming, and we learned from each prototype. So this the EXPO, the final prototype that we tested, the user were really happy because they were able to do the exercises at home, because that reduced their travel cost to the physiotherapy center, and they were also connected to the therapist. So they were really happy with the experience.
Right, cool. Thank you.
Okay, other questions? It's already getting really, okay, one more, very good.
Hi, is this on? Hi. Yeah, my question actually is just following on that. Were the therapists satisfied with the information they got from this remote practice?
Yes. The thing is that when you are in the recovery journey, the patient has a lot of anxiety. So they want to ask a lot of questions, and that's why that increased the visit to the physiotherapy center. So the smaller questions, or say questions that were easy to answer over the calls, the physiotherapists were really happy to do that because they didn't have a lot of patients to come in the clinic. They could actually answer them whenever the patient required. So the therapists that ways were happy to connect to the patient easily and better.
I imagine if you have a lot of patients as a physiotherapist, then you might get a lot of requests. Do you have any plan on how to, maybe building an FAQ or something around this?
Yes. Yes, that's the plan. Yeah. So we have a static screen, I think, in the app which is on FAQs, so that there are no repeat questions kind of thing, the standard questions. And the idea is that it will sort of get built up as the app is used, and you figure out what are the questions, and you start building the FAQ. But as of now in the prototype, the FAQ is sort of a static screen for now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.